Hey there, everybody! Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Yogi Hamm. I'm Yogi Hamm. That's right. And in case you didn't already know, 90% Viking, 60% Cherokee. I try to remind everybody that. I've told a lot of people I keep reminding them. Southern Vac. That's my nickname, the Southern Vac, and I forgot to tell you that too. Anyhow, I'm going to talk to you about reading books, not like menus and what's on draft. I'm talking about books. See, I love a read, especially horror novels. Mostly, strictly. Yeah, I've read a couple of books by, like Michael Palin. That's my favorite Monty Python right there. I got a couple of books by him, 3 or 4 of them actually, I think. But I'm gonna tell you how I got into reading my granddaddy Tophat. You heard me talk about him before. That's a man taught me my love. Him and my mama taught me my love for music, and he taught me my love for reading too. And but when I remember when seeing him read was weird because he's always outside or in the garage building something crazy. You can build something out of 2 strings. He's like MacGyver, but in the South and before MacGyver. But but I'd see him. I'd go over there in the evenings and Granny Crenshaw. She'd be watching her nighttime stuff again, Wheel of Fortune and all that, And he'd be sitting there with a lamp right there next to him, and he'd be reading. And one night he told me, he said, "Rick, go take this home, read that." I'm like, "What is it?" He said, "It's a complete works of Edgar Allen Poe." I said, "Well, who's that?" He said, "You heard Legend Sleepy Hollow?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "It's stuff like that. It's kind of like that." I'm like, "Ooh, I like that kind of stuff." And he was like, he said, "It's my favorite writer." And I'm like, "Okay." So I took that home. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm young Yogi learning finding his love for reading. His brain wasn't as full of all this knowledge that I got now. So back then, I didn't know somebody could. I like the way everything is worded. He put together a pretty sentence. He did. He eloquent. But he put together a beautiful damn sentence, and I liked reading the stories just to see what. But sometimes I'd read a sentence and I'd go, "Dang, what did that mean?" I loved reading it. The words looked pretty together, but I didn't understand it. But I liked watching it, or I liked reading it for the wordplay. Is what I guess is what I'm trying to say. So when I took that book back, Granddaddy Tophat said, "You read that?" I said, "Front to back." He said, "What'd you think?" I said, "I really enjoyed that." And he said, "Yeah." And he kind of looked at me weird, and I was like, I don't understand what every story was. I mean, it was I don't know. It was weird, but I told him, I said, "Well, to be honest, I didn't understand half of what I was reading, but it was fun to read it because it was how, put together like that." And he was like, he said it was the artistry of the wordings is how he put it. The artistry of the wordings. That's what Granddaddy Tophat called it. And I was like, "That's perfect." And I said, "But I don't understand." He said, "Me neither, boy, but it's what I'm telling you. That's why I like it too, is for the words." I was like, "Oh, okay." Some of them stories, I've read them today and still don't quite get it. I don't understand. What? There's a thing in the hallway. Now it's out. Now it's not, but it was a beautifully told. I didn't get it. But I still don't. But I still like to read those. I still do. That's the only way I can explain it is the way it's worded. It's nice. I like it. But that got me started reading. And my other, I read a bunch of that King feller for a while. I had a bunch of his books and read them and seen a bunch of them movies that was put together from his stories. And, so I read that King feller for a little bit, and then I tell you who I really got into right after that was that Robert R. McCammon. Go look his stuff up. But when I first found that guy, I was like, this is my new favorite writer. This is my new, because right about the same time I started reading Clive Barker. And I don't know what it is, and I can't put my finger on it, but something's hard to follow about Clive sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes it's real hard to follow. For me, But anyhow, so Robert R. McCammon became my favorite, and I think he's still probably my favorite. I mean, I like that H.P. Lovecraft. Everybody's, he was a racist, so I ain't gonna. Yeah, he was. And then later in his life, he started traveling and meeting people outside of his community, and he recanted that. But nobody ever remembers to add that on to it. So the man said he's sorry for being like that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and forgive him and move on. I hope everybody else can too. Go read them stories. They're crazy. They're a little crazier than Edgar Allen Poe, and they're written more for somebody like me to understand what's going on, but he ends a lot of his the same way. That's the only thing I don't like about H.P. Lovecraft. A lot of them end the same exact way. That's not to say they still ain't great stories. It's just that, I know what's coming, like that. But, so H.P. Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe, and then there's that Clive Barker, and that my favorite still, to this day, is Robert R. McCammon. I don't know why his movies ain't been turned into books. They're freaking phenomenal, and I'm going to go into his books in another episode. I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna tell you some damn Robert R. McCammon books. Where you go get them, boy, you gonna have an experience. I ain't even playing that fella. And he writes in a way you just follow. He tells you a story. You don't try to dazzle ye with some damn big ass words that you have to look up. He don't try to dazzle you with descriptions. He tells you what's going on. He tells you the damn story. And it's perfect. I love his writing style. It's perfect. So he's my favorite. But I also like this other fella named Brian Lumley. Yeah, Brian Lumley. He's got a vampire. I don't even know what you call it, series, I guess. Because at first it was only going to be the. It's only going to be the one. Excuse me, a gunky lung. That's what that is, gunky lung. But they was going, it was only going to be like 3 or 4 books, but then it turned into like 18, 19, and it's called the Necroscope series. But he slides in there where the vampires come from, and it's phenomenal. That one dude came up with that entire other world and wrote all them books about it. Holy crap. But it's a long read, because each book is like 1,000 pages, and there's like 18, 19 books, but I love it. I love them. I'll probably go, you know what? I'm going to go back and do them again sometime. Probably soon. I don't know. But you got I'm going to do a series on all of them and tell you about their books, which ones I liked, and then hopefully you'll go read them and like them. And the song we're going to listen to, since we was talking about Edgar Allan Poe, I know that he liked his Opium. He did. So I'm going to give you a song that's off of that, but it's called Opium. The band's called Deathstars. And they're like theatrical, and they wear make their face real pale and dark around the eyes, and wear all black. And they play it's not death metal. I think somebody named it death glam. So it's hard rock, and guitars are some of the greatest damn riffs I've ever freaking heard by that Emil Snodsfeld, or however you say his name. But he's a guitar player. He got them chords and he's got them riffs is what I meant, not chords. He's got them riffs. It's just, woo, boy, you hear that? You just got, woo, you just move. That make you move like that. You hear them guitars? Woo, I love that. It might not make you move just like that. You're probably hoping it don't over there. What just happened. So Opium by Deathstars. That's from 2009. The album is called Night, Electric Night. Go listen to some of their stuff. I'll probably tell you some more at some point. I like them a lot, even though that's not my normal kind of music. I still like it though. It's good. Okay, bye.